Hi, Shirley here, and it has been a while. My channel has been rearranged. I'm sorry for the weird light. It's evening, so I turned the lights on and now it looks funny. But that's the lighting I have for now. Hopefully that will change in the future too, for the better. And, oh, I got a bag here with greens. I had undergone dramatic change in my life in the last couple of weeks. I have not checked the transits or anything. I'm too busy recovering. And in the past couple of weeks, my connection with my intuition had drastically gotten closer and deeper. And I've learned to channel it in new ways, and I was guided to basically start teaching that. So I'll do it in baby steps, because for me it's baby steps. And even though this channel has been channeling science, there's a difference between being an experimenter or a researcher and being a sort of a kind of a spiritual teacher. But this is not coming from me being a guru or anything like that. It's just teaching the art of intuition and what can we expect from it. For me, the jumpstart began when I didn't know exactly when should I charge my crystals, where should I cleanse them. And then there was this sort of a kind of an NLP energy work trick that was also a crystal worker's trick to know when, if a crystal is right for us, should we cleanse it, and so on. And that's just standing and turning ourselves into a sort of a kind of pendulum where we stand and then we ask a question and then we let go. And if we sway forward, it's a yes. And if we sway backward, it's a no. And that worked with my crystals. So I was like, what about food? Can you do it for food? And that worked. And it can identify if something is good or its date expired. For me, I don't know what it would do for you. And it identified when certain things I need to address, even medically, that I wasn't aware of. Gone, done, finished. And then I could ask for an empowering message or for a message as to something. And I would intuitively hear like a voice. But then you have to make sure that it feels calming, that it feels nourishing. Because the intuition is calming and nourishing. It can be playful depending on your guides. And it can sometimes, for me, for example, I needed to check up on my teeth. And the way it did that, it was like to scare me. And then it was like, look, there's nothing to fear. You just, if you do it right now, look, there is nothing to fear. If you do it right now, look, it only costs so and so, and it is not a painful procedure, and so on. But it was like, sort of like getting me into the feeling urgent, like it's urgent to do that. But then it can be that Saturn was involved in the guides and in the intuition. Is it true that planets are involved in the intuition? Yes. Okay, because I'm also an astrologer, then that makes sense that the planets are there, are guides too. For who are my guides? I got the Druids, I got the Pleiadians, I got, of course, the creation, archangels, ETs. What else? Who are my guides? Finnish people, but also Phoenix, the Phoenician. It's I don't know how to call it in English. Babylon, like the first channeling that I got was about Tower of Babel, so that makes sense. So lots of consciousnesses that they're just gathering up, like cosmic consciousness or cosmic wisdom. Maybe cosmic wisdom. Would cosmic wisdom be the right description of it? Yes, cosmic wisdom. So for me, I think channeling science opened on 2018, something like that, or even 17, probably 18. And now we're in 2021. So I've been on and off with intuition development, like on YouTube for 3 years. And now I'm being called to deliver the knowledge, but from the perspective of like to actually tell people how to develop their own intuition, which is an interesting position for me to be. And but because it is divinely guided and because it is guided, then I feel humble, but I also feel more confident to take that position, because I'm transferring knowledge. I'm more of a messenger rather than a teacher, if that makes sense. I've been a teacher all my life in many ways, shapes, and forms, and then for a while I thought that I was going to be a healer, and it may as well be that healing will continue to be. Like, I'm not going to do it in front of the camera because that's like a personal life path thingy. But I was definitely shown that the place of teaching people how, or sharing the knowledge as to how to contact your guides and your intuition, and to use crystals and to use blends. I cannot teach you how to use blends because that's like insurance stuff. And I'm not here to supervise that you do it correctly. But I was shown that I was told that this is something that's going to begin to take part, and it kind of makes sense because I feel more confident with my guidance. It's important to know that there is a learning process. You learn your guides and your guides learn you. So it's kind of, let's say I ask, should I buy this product? And I will get a yes. But it doesn't mean that I should buy this product right now. It just means that I should buy this product. And then I can ask, should I buy it right now? And then I can get a yes or a no. It can also, for example, with reading people, it can also read like a certain timeline. It can read a person at the time where it's at. For example, I can see like a small picture of a person. I say, is this person in good energy? And then they tell me yes. But then I open up the picture and they're like, okay, now they're seeing new data. So it's important to know that there are these adjustments, because it's working. Think about working with a telescope, or working. It allows you to see. It's sort of kind of something that sees energy and transfers data to you. So you need to communicate well with. I'm sorry that the comparison is to a device. It's not a device. I am more the device here, but um, but I'm kind of learning how to communicate well, to ask the questions correctly, and to allow yourself to receive. Now, for me, sometimes if I get like too worried, then they will give me like, I would ask a yes/no question, then would go, which is like, I don't know, a scary thing supposed to happen. It's like, It's like, are you scaring me? And they go, and that's their way to kind of get me out of it. So for every person, that there's probably your own thing, because your guides, they know how you tick, sometimes better than you. So they know when they want you to be your better self, and if you really are intent on choosing that, then when they want you to, be your better self, they're going to push the buttons that tick you, and that can feel weird. Sometimes it can feel it can feel like unexpected, because it's not always just going to be, oh, I'm opening my heart to love and I'm feeling love and I'm receiving a message. Sometimes that's the thing, but sometimes it's practical. Like, you need to do something, you need to get to try this, you need to do this thing. For example, I have an issue with washing my dishes, and then they said, today you are not washing your dishes. And I said, oh, is that a way to get me to wash my dishes? And that worked, because I was like, oh, what? I'm not allowed to wash my... No, I want to wash my dishes. Because that was the thing that got me to tick. So for every person, that's going to be a bit different. What else do I have to say about intuition development? Keep that love buffer. Like, there's a difference between something that your guides would like scare you to think about the worst option possible, to sort of get ready for it, and then they're gonna go like, oh, look, it's not scary at all. Whether like to me, to see a dentist or something like that, it's like, to see a dentist, that's scary, and so they get you to be so afraid of what's going to happen and stoically accept it, and then they're gonna go like, no, you're just going to pay like a couple of pennies, and then you're going to do a treatment that is not even painful, and just do it now. If you do it now, then everything will be okay. There's a difference between that sort of kind of get you to, oh my God, I have to do it, I have to do this, what if this happens, what if that happens, and then you're like, nothing is going to happen. You just go ahead and you just do it, and that's not as scary as you thought. Then to something that is actually scary, to something that is actually not a force of light. And you do need a bit of experience to get the knack of it, because you will notice that something is in your favor, and when they do get how you work, they will know exactly like what bottoms to tick to get you to be your better self. It's a matter of choice to do that. It's a matter of, deciding on, thinking, what do you desire? What makes you happy? What makes you feel joyful? How do you come to a conclusion? How do you get to a decision? What really is your priority? What really are your priorities? What are they? They can expose that, for example. What else? Intuition development is something that adds a lot to life. And it is a certain path of certain truth that you walk by. So it takes a very specific form of commitment. And that commitment is to say, I choose the light. Which also can entail, I choose to see aspects of me that are not so illuminated and bring love to them so that they express themselves in settings and ways that are beneficial rather than not. Okay? You don't need to delve into shadow work. You don't need, unless you are being guided or being told to dedicate so and so hours to do shadow work, you're not going to experience a lot with that. It's just going to come whenever it does come, and then you will receive the guidance. But you need to communicate, you need to ask, you need to be open, you need to, if an omen is not clear to you, you need to ask, is this an omen? The question, is this an omen, is so amazing, because you can see a lot of 1111s everywhere, and you're like, is this an omen? And they can say, do you want it to be? Or they can say no. Or they can say, it is what you make of it. And sometimes something is an omen to you. So you can ask for clarification. You can ask. It's not something, they're not going to hide information from you unless they're like seeing that you're exhausting yourself in asking questions. Sometimes I would try to get the yes or a no, and I would get like, something like that, or something that tells me like, okay, calm down. Stop with this question asking, get some rest or so. And it adds a lot of beauty to life. It adds a lot of magic. It adds a lot of connection. It adds a lot of gamification. It can allow you, and because it does, it can allow you to do things that you wouldn't otherwise believe you can do. A great question to ask is, what would be the most beneficial thing for me? What would be in my highest good to do right now? What would bring me well-being right now? That's something good to ask. And that's kind of sets the priorities. And it's like the bigger picture. It's like when it's time to manifest something, you will be divinely guided. When it's time to rest, you will be divinely guided. When it's time to record a video, even though your room is still messy, you will be divinely guided. That's sort of my experience with that. And yes, it can also be life-saving. I'm not marketing it as life-saving thingy because it's beyond life-saving. It's life. It's life-enhancing. If you don't feel the need or the wish to contact your guides, it's like, yeah, you don't feel like it. But if you find that interesting, if you find that magical, if you find that weird in an inviting way, go for it. Try to do the yes no thingy. Try to ask for guidance and see what do you receive, what are you guided to look at, to what thought crosses your head, what sensation There can be adjustments. There can be, and you can always communicate. You can always ask for, less intensity. You can ask for, something more pleasant. You can ask for a different way or a different trick, or you can communicate with that. So that's really helpful. And I'd love to know from you, what do you think about this? I know I come suddenly with a change of phase every now and then, but I feel that that's something that's going to take up more and more space in my endeavors, and that's coming up right now. That wanted to air now, and I'd love to hear from you. How do you feel about intuition development? Are you in contact with your intuition, with your guides? How do you come in contact? Do you have like a procedure? Do you have like a method or something like practical? What are your tips? And share tips with each other. Did you have like experiences that were more triggering or more difficult, and how did you deal with them? That could be very, very, very useful information. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Sorry for the horrible lighting, but it's good to be here again. It's good to broadcast again. And yeah, subscribe, share with like-minded people or respectful people in general. And yeah, subscribe, share, click the bell, otherwise you won't get notification, and comment. I love comments. So I know I have made private certain videos that I did because I'm not doing right now the sexuality issue. I know I will be returning to that in the future, probably. Yes. And then I will get like an updated downloads of whatever need to be said in that regard. So that's why I took the videos, I made them private. I know some of you are I know some of you are always waiting for these videos, and I'm sorry if you felt like your comment vanished or something, but that was really important. It's an upgrade, and I received a divination that said, put these videos private now. So I don't know exactly, was it something that I said that was not exactly correct, or something that could be mistaken as something, or I don't know exactly what or why, but there will be. I'm not done with talking about sexuality. It's going to be there. And maybe, I guess my next topic would be like sexual spaces and erotic spaces versus life energy that is non-erotic. And that may be something that I will speak about in the future. I kind of feel like that's coming up in my life right now. So I'd love to hear from you. It has been a while. And yes, I am still interviewing astrologers, intuitives, scientists, cosmologists for my Spirit of Matter series. It is still on, and you're very welcome to just DM me on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll set up an interview. That would be amazing. So, bye-bye.